Come on, NDI, work. You can do it, NDI. Oh, wait, hang on. We had to relaunch the NDI screen. Alright, you should be coming through. Come on, NDI, you can do the thing. Thank you. Now, I'm hoping that my social stream system is still working. I'm going to bring up Chatterino just to make sure. I don't trust it entirely yet. No one said anything, so we're still good. Volume levels on the stream, music seems fine. Okay. Alright. Ooh, it is so warm. So today we're doing a little bit of scrolling. We're actually working on controller support. Very primitive Xbox 360 controller support. Because that'll turn into actually using regular joysticks. So, now I actually have a controller here, and all of this is nice and smooth. I can aim, very accurately. Which is pretty good, like it's not too bad. All the blend shapes of the walking animation cycle seem to perform a lot better. And now I could do this with the controller. They're trying to figure out what's causing some of the slowdowns in the build today. I think it knows also, by the way, what's messing up my audio. Oh man, okay, so I'm gonna try to figure out the rolling. We're gonna get some of the rolling stuff working today. I'm gonna do a bit of blending. Yeah, I think right bumper. I think the bumpers would be good rolls. Hmm. Okay, let's start off with some prototyping. While we're sweating the death. We need to define. No, not Google Classroom. I think so in systems, we are going to define so the missile system, and then Earth. I'm going to define small, medium, and large missile sizes. For like just primitive sizing. As we know that our standard human what do you call it, a meatball? It's weird. Let's do 0.1. Why does it do that? Go, stop overriding my blender. Okay, thanks. Hey, Pixius. And nope, my stream thingamabobber is definitely not working. Come on, let me check. We have to like reconnect each time, I wonder. Yeah. Weird. Well, I do like these ones for some reason, even though they're not necessarily space oriented. Oh, hey Nathan. Oh yeah, so it is coming through. Let me turn off my TTS, which is happening under me.
NA7938627691 says, I have a random and funny first question.
Yeah, sure. Just give me 1 second, please. Turn off some TTS stuff that I was playing around with earlier. Hey, David. It's silly, but you might find entertaining. Bringing humor throughout the day. Yeah, sure.
I like to bring humor to the day, LOL.
Right,
NA7938627691 says, if you could choose anyone to see get tickled as a drag, who would it be? Haha.
Give me 1 second. Can I like search through this thing? It's not even on text to speech. Yeah, this extension's great, but I don't like the fact that I can't search between half of this stuff. Like, where in the world do I find the TTS options that I turned on yesterday? I don't know, I'm just gonna kill it and go back and just use the regular chat for the stream. Hey, Dreams! There we go. Alright, let me catch up here before we start jumping into some missile technology. Alright, so if you could choose anyone to get tickled as a prank, who would it be? Oh, I have no idea. So I do like the Wraithon one, this one. I say Justin Bieber is he's quite arrogant, and I'll try it out there. Oh, I don't know much about the media. Thanks for the follow. We're working on a missile today. And they're definitely equal on every angle, so... Hey! Was it just Osopi? Welcome, welcome. Sorry for the hard name, no worries. Love a good space game? Hell yeah. Have you seen the game? Is it just as Sophie? Not seen yet. Just as good. Okay, cool. Let me show you the game. Let me close out what I'm working on here. The game is called Unforgiven Space. It's like a first-person space experience. It's multiplayer. Kind of plays like Sea of Thieves. Working on controllers I was working on controllers for it yesterday for it, and today I want to add a missile system. Yeah. Game is fully funded by Patreon. I'm slowly hoping to kind of over the summer. I'm working on it now full time. I'd like to get things up to kind of a certain target. Let's kind of catch up here. So this is kind of the graphics of the game. You know, the idea is every aspect of the ship is fully customizable, so all the components can be physically removed. You can swap out all the gear. If I step into the ship, right, the idea is like everything is, you know, detailed and works. Like we have our holo projector, right, all the components. I don't know why we're running so slow. I'm running, is it, I wonder, is it the, oh, it could just be Blender also. But yeah, we're, you know, flying cargo, loading it onto the ship. These are the mag plates. And then, of course, you know, we have our, you know, our stations. Where we would kind of go and start actually doing all the work. So you enter the station, hooks onto the ship, start pulling and pushing components. Blender Godot, yeah. Right, but you can have your own little habitation module in space, fully customize it. Yeah, maybe I have a lot of this stuff just open on the scene. It's kind of going through pretty paths just for it. Thanks for the follow. So to give you like an idea real quick here of kind of how kind of some of the things play out, we'll just launch a build. And hopefully we'll get frames. I don't know why we're getting terrible frames. Oh, is it Parsec running? Not screen capture. How many Godot's do we have running? 2 debugs. Good one session. So ships customizable to thrusters effect. Yeah, yep. Maybe it is the dev build? Not, yeah, because I do have my main build running here for testing. This one should be fully headless. Not using too much. This one shouldn't be using GPU. Let's perform that now. Give me 1 second to switch over my yeah, let me kill NDI real quick and just restart it. It's a just an asset that was created. Yeah, let's see if this fixes my come on, do the thing. Capture audio, capture PVM, capture settings, use monitor frame rate, should. Oh no, we're actually, okay, it's coming through now, thanks. Alright. I think it was using my harbor encoder, and I really just needed to use CPU. Alright, let's see if one instance is fine. Entity scene. So check this out, right? So I'm just a female character right now. Everything in the game, I know I'm just using like kind of it's just kind of like the piss build, is physicalized. So, you know, we have dynamic gravity volumes. So like things can exist, you know, either like in 0G or in the gravity volume. And as it just has a few tests here. I'm gonna play customize my little habitation module by buying a bunch of components. And we are going to take those components and put them inside our own little hab to kind of showcase some of the kind of customization mechanics. Right, so these are like things you can customize. All right, so any of the item ports, we can kind of make your own place, right, and have it be yours. Right, so that this will be your like just your little home away from home. And I just want to show you what it's like, right, to, you know, take off the components and put them back on. All the components in the ship, everything under the ship, everything inside the ship can be fully customized. Right, we pop up. So let me take off here real quick. And I'm just going to target that other ship that's over here. And I only have one weapon attached right now to the right side of the ship. Right, but the shields are working. I don't have the visualizations for them. Right, so this is kind of just like, you know, another enemy version of the player ship. But I want to show you the... we're going to go into the other hangar that's over here. Yeah, I got to figure out what's causing the lag shots. Check out the arm as we enter the gravity field. Oh. See how the arm comes over and actually hooks onto the ship? It's very cool having like all the compositional ship that just works together with physics and controls. Oh yeah, it's check. So this yeah, that's what I mean by this one. Yeah, where'd you go? I don't know what's causing my little lag issues right now. Anyway, we're just gonna leave that there. But check it out. See the arm? So the arm is actually like keeping track of the ship and allowing us to actually open up the bottom panels, and then through the bottom panels we can actually pull off all the components and put them on. Does it eat it out of space? Does what eat it out of space? Does it eat it out of space? It does. Check out the... Yeah, let me come over here. It's actually quite cool. So if we come over here, close this out, bring this over, take the viewport so we can actually see, and split this up. So you guys can see the ship. Yep. So, yep. So check it out. No matter where I move the ship, the system will kind of react to it. So it's not actually attaching to the ship, it's magnetically tracking an IK point on the ship. And as long as the ship is within a tracking range, it'll grab it and secure it. And it's actually a full IK system that I made, so like, even if I bring it down, see how it'll actually attempt to track it and move the rails forward and back. Right, so even if I rotate the ship, right, even though it's not like it's always looking down, I could make it kind of like, you know, IK on the very end as well, but its job is to you know, be able to, you know, rotate the player ship around for convenience, but also to be able to kind of track and correct the ship. Depending. So it's just really, it's a really high-end visual, but it was something that I thought was really important for, you know, being able to kind of, you know, give you a legitimate work area and kind of like, well, you know, if this was a mechanic shop in space, like, how would this be working? You know, how would you be working on the ship? How are you pulling on and pulling off these components, right? How are you putting in these big modules? You know what I mean? Like, especially some of the bigger stuff. And the only way that I could tell was to be able to make some of the bigger pieces of the ship kind of, you know, separate and enable you to kind of bring these, you know, be able to kind of snap those in place with a larger tractor beam of sorts. And it very, very well may be that for the smaller components that are within, you know, weapons and pieces, your own tractor beam actually works fine. But once you get into the ship modules themselves, you'd have to use a larger, like a medium-sized tractor beam. And yeah, exactly. That's exactly how they work when you snap them into place. So we're going to go out of that now. We're going to go into Unforgiven Systems, which is our test project where we're actually building up the mechanics of the game. I have a running build here on the screen on the side here. This is a running headless dedicated server that we're using here for testing, and I will show you kind of where I am with the multiplayer systems, right? Because the idea is, like, you can just pop in, play the game if you're a Patreon member. $5 gives you access to the build, and obviously it grows as I'm continuously working on. But let me kind of just show you kind of. And what's great is I've had this build, this test build here running in the background for probably a week now. I'm not going to log in, I'm just going to run 2 instances of the test scene. And I'm in the middle of doing multiplayer. So let's do just okay, and we'll do red, kind of keep people, and we'll join. So this is actually the build. All those NPCs are synced. So if I join as Revere, and I'll just be green, I guess, for the time being. So there's Justice Sophie. So I'm all fully working. All the IK systems are working here in multiplayer. Equipment and synchronization is working in multiplayer. Now I'm going to grab, 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 I'm going to grab I'm gonna grab Sophie and run all the way over here and spawn in the ship. Right, so now as my other player here, we're gonna go and observe what actually happens when Sophie, jumps in the ship, goes up to the seat, interacts with the animations, jumps in the seat, and I'm gonna jump out here just to not be a part of this real quick. So, Just is now in the ship, and Just is gone. So now, fully working for Just can fly around, Just can do single-player missions, even in the multiplayer setting, they can still have presence. They can still be playing the game. I, as Revere, I'm gonna go and just hop in my ship, right, as a test. I was professed before the multiplayer. Oh man, wait till you see it all come together. Wait till you see the gameplay options I have planned for this. And remember, we have 100 NPCs fully synchronized down there, while I'm, flying around, looking for you, who's right here, right? And we're all doing our thing. If I head over to the array that I've kind of placed, I'm using Godot's as a baseline for the time being. I haven't needed anything more than good old-fashioned synchronizers and RPCs, but I think as the project gets more evolved, I want to build my own rollback system and a few other things, because it's fairly easy to predict rigid bodies, especially if those rigid bodies are ships. They have a lot of mass and a lot of momentum, right? It's and as you can see, there's me over here at this comm array, and this is a 64-bit custom compiled version of Godot, and I can go 80. I can teleport myself 80 million meters away, and we can just fly around, and we're all good. All right, so this is US. I can go on forever about the systems that that we're going to be developing. I'm hoping by the end of the summer that we have a. So the game was a year and a half in Unity, and that I started. It took me 6 months to rewrite all the classes. It's probably about 600 C# scripts that I had to rewrite for Unforgiven Space. So after I rewrote everything from Unity, right? So here's going to be the comm arrays for shutting them down and engaging in illegal activity. And I'm thinking, hang on, let me see if my controller support works still. It does. Now this is an interesting issue actually that I've haven't really looked into, which is Godot will kind of take two builds and apply the same keys. It won't go with the focused one. Hey, Setelex. Do you want to try this actual multiplayer build, Setelex? Hey, RT developer. We're actually I'm showing off the fact now that I have the comm arrays, we have working ships, we have working multiplayer. I have the dedicated server running, and where you can see me kind of approaching the. Oh no, that's my ship. Where's the other ship? Oh, over here floating around. You'd love to try. Yeah, let me go and look at this other guy. Let's see, where am I? Over here. Look, there's my other player. There's just Sophie, and there's me in the seat. Everything's all synchronized up. Let's stress test it. Yeah, I don't have any particular public builds right now. I do give some to certain streamers, wink wink, as I need to, but yeah, especially if I'm testing out a mechanic. We're gonna be working on making a missile system today. Yeah, the whole wink wink, like the VoIP system. Remember the VoIP system Sedlex with the voice over IP. Once I figure out a way to crush that data, because that's the issue, right? We have these different audio sources, and I need to convert them from, like, you know, if it's like, you know, 48,000 kilobits per second, you know, I need to convert them over to some standard when I synchronize that data. So this is what I was showing for one of the viewers. And yeah, let me start. So I now have right here, ignoring. I'm going to actually give this a fresh, a good old fresh reboot of the dedicated server here. So I can now run this thing headless as a server. Now running itself, I'm going to run 2 builds. I'll just kind of show. I'll give you the same demo, right, that I just gave. And this is I got this build down to 100 and. Actually, I'm gonna let me actually let me just go ahead real quick and send a certain somebody a link and just make sure I don't dox him in any capacity. Hang on 1 second. So what's even interesting is what I'm about to send him. It's probably even an older particular build, but I'm going to just do. So I'm going to put this in the Revere chat on your server, so I'm going to just ping you, because I'm glad you actually created that private messaging system. And I'm not using any encryption or anything on the build, so yeah, there you go. I'm just going to see if that one works for Sedlex, but for anyone else, I'm going to use someone just put an X in chat. And I will use you. So I'm going to join as Revere, and I'm going to be yellow, I guess. Okay, so here I am in the dedicated build. It takes a little second for all the data synchronized. It's these are all smoothed out here and interpolate. So I'm now in as Revere, and I'm going to join in as a secondary character, and we'll use Archie, just as a. And just to note, for those that are interested in this project, you know, I do have the idea, at least, you know, we do have the old Patreon, and the promise right now is for the, you know, you do get at the $5 tier access to said build, and I'm continuously always pushing updates. I just keep pushing builds. There's no, it just doesn't stop. Builds, and we just, you know, they just keep going. I'm hoping to get to $400 over the summer. Oh yeah, let me do that on a secondary window, so we don't dox any email-aroos here. Yep, so let me just go ahead and do that real quick. That is now done. Yep, perfect. Yep, and yeah, so that's kind of the idea. It's just Patreon monolithic, and our goal is just to keep working on the game until we reach, you know, that point. So hopefully, I said, like, it's only like 200 megs. You should be able to download it pretty quickly, and it is a older build, but as long as I hadn't changed any data, everything should be working. The only thing I've done personally is I've changed the FPS controller to give myself controller support, which should still be working fine. Yeah, and now I can kind of yeah. So let me know if you're able to jump in. And like I said, all the IK stuff's working. Because I want to actually get Sedlex to go over and spawn in his own ship and fly his own ship around. I just want to see what that experience is like for him. And even in this very basic test environment. And then we'll continue doing what we were doing after that, which is working on the missile system here. You're launching right now. Yep, just go right to multiplayer. Put in the universe server IP, like the domain. Port should just be default. and you should just pop right in. So I'm hoping that you can go on an adventure with me in the build. Oh man, so warm. Oh, a Setelex! I see a Setelex! Setelex, look around! Come over to me! Yeah, like jump is not really jump. It's more of a jump is more of a kind of a booster right now. Okay, Setelex. So I want you to go over, not just go over there, like to probably right there. Hit O to spawn your ship in. Only press it once and dodge to the right. The ship will spawn on you. So as soon as you spawn the ship, just dodge to the right. Oh, run, 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 run. So it doesn't tip over, because it'll tip over. Yep, and we don't want it to go all the way over. And if it goes all the way over, then you'll need to spawn another ship. So just try it again. Where did you go? Where did Setelex go? I think he's... what color did Setelex pick? I froze big time when it spawned. Oh, are you still... Are you still in the build, or is it actually froze? You see it perfectly sitting on the terrain, too? Yeah, where are you, too? I wonder, are you still here? Oh, okay. Let me yeah. You're not moving around. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. This is a synchronization issue because we are not the yeah, we're not quite the same build, and I'm missing it. So we probably won't be able to. I will actually have to compile you a build. Or like I'll push another build so I don't get these synchronization issues that I'm kind of getting right now. Yeah, don't worry. I'll do another one at some point. Actually, no, that's a lie. Here, hang on. Let me. That is not true. I can actually go in. One second. Because I'll just launch that build. I'll just literally launch that build that I just sent you. Because I can actually, run the old one. I'll just use the same client of that one. So I won't have the debugging, but just for the curiosity's sake. Alright, Setelex, I should be running that build now. Let me go back to chat real quick. Let the frogs hit the floor, let the frogs hit the floor. Hey, Codeboy. So, okay, so Setelex. Here's the, here's what I want you to do. So turn around, head towards the red planet. When you hit O to spawn the ship, move immediately to the right. So the ship isn't on you. So just like, oh, while you're moving. Okay, get away, get away, get away. Okay. All right, go ahead and jump in. Okay, don't take off yet. Don't take off yet. Go over to the seat and interact with the seat by clicking once. Okay, and then click again to get into it, but don't take off with me in the ship yet. Okay, let me just confirm that you're good to go. All right, there's Sedlex. Sedlex, go ahead and spacebar. This is good. Oh, yeah, yeah. All right, wait for me now, Sedlex. I'm gonna spawn my own ship in. No, I'm not. Crap. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna do that again. We're gonna leave that ship alone. We don't care about that ship. That one can do its own thing. All right, Sedlex, where are you? We have 100 synchronized NPCs. We have 2 players, each with rigid bodies inside them, fully synchronized. Now, Sedlex, look to the sky and look for the comm array. Should be a comm array around here in this build, I hope. It looks like the star. Oh, there it is. There it is. Right here. Over here. All right, we're going to come over here together, and we're going to go inside it. So when we get close, we're going to park our ships, and we're going to get out. And we're going to go inside the comm array, if you can see me. There we go. Yep, just come on in and park kind of next to me. When you get kind of lined up here, hit Y to get out of the seat. There's no gravity inside the ship right now, so just exit, best as you can. And then, so your ship's over there. We should see Sedlex getting out. And Sedlex is coming over towards me. And then we are together going to, you can see, we get some packet noise on the, oh, there he is. All right, Sedlex. We're going to go inside this comm array. Is it open source? Godot's open source, yeah. There we go. I don't have any like EVA animation Sedlex, but that's fine. Alright, so this would be like where we would go if we were to like turn off, the and so anyway, 1, 2, and 3 are your weapons. 5 is the actual terminal that you can actually interact with, which is like your little UI, which is like hard to see when you're in this environment. EVA animations is animations when you're in space, like extravehicular animation. Because we're in 0G, and the terminals are these that are going to be used for shutting down the system. If you're very familiar with Star Citizen, this is very Star Citizen-esque game. All right, so yeah, so let's go back to our ships. We are going to. Which one was yours? Yeah, okay, you own that one. All right, good. Yeah, I had to turn off the internal the internal gravity system because it was actually messing up. I need to ignore Godot's and kind of make my own. I was relying on the area's gravity override. So I will, Sedlex, I'm going to meet you back on the station where the 100 NPCs are fully synchronized and the other ship is. So just come down here and park next to me, and I will meet you here. And then we should be back into the gravity volume of the station. And then Sedlex should be heading down. Oh, there he is. Hey, Sedlex, welcome back. Take your gun out, Sedlex. Hit number 2. Or number 3, actually. Alright, now just start firing. Blow up your own ship. It's gonna like give me a whole bunch of errors, but that's fine. Right? Doesn't really matter. All that really matters is it all works, right? And it all works. I have a full Linux build now that I can auto deploy remotely now, so we can keep the Patreon build running 24/7. Shoot the overthrows. Anyway, you can't actually blow up your ship. You can take off the components if you have authority and put them back on. Oh no! Oh, man. I just stole. I stole your weapons. You have a Linux build. Yeah, because the dedicated servers that I have are Linux. So there's not much you could do in this one other than have, like having listing authority and whatnot. And if code you haven't seen the main game, I should probably show you the real game. This is the prototype. Sedlex is just getting up into the 0G. You mean for the client? I might do a Linux build of the client. I mean, right now the Linux build is also the client, But as things progress, the client will be pretty much a different build than the server. But will I support Linux? More than likely. Thanks again, Sedlex, for playing around with this. Like I said, a lot of this is quite stable. You accidentally threw my gun out into space. Yeah, so let's just take a break. I'm going to close this build out. Thank you again, Sedlex. I'm going to kill this build. And I just want to, after the raid, post-raid, just to go in and take a look at the builds to show you guys what you're actually getting into. Very, very, very soon, we'll have the main characters in the game. It won't be, white, random, colored, meshes. Right, so this is how the game, graphically is supposed to look. Right, this is what the actual ships look like. The only thing is space is not good for frogs. How do you know there's not space frogs? There could be space frogs. Are you denying, frogs' ascension, into space? Right? How do we know? Maybe that's how some of the alien races kind of got born. You know what I mean? Maybe some reptilian frog-like mammal kind of pushed the boundaries. Anyway, so this is what the working on your ship aspect looks like. And here's the social area. We will Sedlex very soon be able to go to Irish John's and play pool. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've been going through a lot of this stuff. But anyway, and you can keep access to the build. You know what I mean? It's I value a lot of certain people's opinions when it comes to this stuff. And for those that don't know, I've been subscribed to Sedlex's channel, which you guys should obviously be following. And if you guys are not following Sedlex, then I'm probably going to shun you. You should be. You gotta go click on that little. Why does this never tab complete? I hate this app. Maybe I'm a frog alien. You never know, man. Yeah, in space, nobody can tell. Maybe everyone is just cats in space. I think cats probably be smart enough to escape before us. Who knows? But yeah, so there's like the combat ship, and we have two little stations here we can play around with. At least, for the little bit. So hopefully that kind of, shows like how things are going. The meow. Did you like the like from Starfield? Yeah, it's we're doing missiles today. But hopefully you guys followed Sedlex and legitimately actually working on some of the missile systems today. So we're gonna see kind of where we get with this. I don't really know, And I'm gonna bring in that image as a mesh. I'm pretty sure I stuck that. New downloads folder. Which downloads folder is the question. Save as desktop. Call it missile. So will you model a blender in Blender? More than likely. I mean, we need blenders in our habitation modules. It'd be kind of unfair to not have blenders, you know? Or like some weird type of, you know, food processor of sorts, you know? And we're going to display this thing as wired. Yeah, because I do want to kind of keep... Like, we have to keep the missile within the bounds of... what is it? Where's our cylinder? These are our missile bands. So we want to try to keep it. Yeah, it's kind of... And this is meant to be a very small missile, so... It's not quite aligning to the world, so we're gonna adjust it. How did you set the rotation of the image like that? R and the axis. You can rotate anything. So you have a plane. Right, Shift A, mesh, plane. R X 90. R Y 90. Flip it around. RX 45. And same thing with holding Alt. You can use your middle mouse button to flick through the axes real quick. It's extremely important if you're insane enough to make an MMO from scratch that you get really fast at Blender. And when I mean really fast at Blender, like you need to be so fast at Blender that, you know, it's probably not good for your mental health. Oh, that's the only downside now. It's, I was going to, when we're scaling based upon the, not on the origin of these. So let me just check our mirror real quick. Because I have a mirror on each side, so we're only ever modeling, you know, 25% of the missile. But we got to make sure that we're actually still, ever miss with F-Spy? I don't think so. I'm already at like minus 10,037% on that. Yeah, stuff like this is what saves you lifetimes of work. And I spend like 80% of my time in Blender. So when I say like making a game is like a lot of art, and I've made a lot of tech, you know, like over the years, and the art is definitely the more challenging aspect. And it never really ends either, you know what I mean? Like you think you're like, oh man, I'm just gonna... And it doesn't end. I'm sensing... I'm getting a sense of foreshadowing from your words. I spend most of my time in the text. That's not bad either. So what you're saying is a journey does not get easier when the art starts. Well, there's an internal curse called the development of skill. And as you develop more skill, you'll like, I need to apply this newfound skill that I've just learned from brute force experience. So as you like learn materials, and you start making procedural materials, and then you start like, oh man, like first you're like, you know what, we're just going to use vertex colors, and everything is going to be simple. But then you're in like Substance Painter, and you're actually creating scratchings, and you know what I mean? Like you're actually creating stuff that's super cool. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, it increases and increases and increases and increases and increases and increases, you know. It's, I got sign all the time. Gotta have Adobe. God forbid. Good. That's a neutral opinion with everyone. What? No, I already have access to it. What? It hasn't expired yet. I should have it for the whole summer. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, Creative Cloud. Good old Adobe. I was just like, no, thanks. Done. Ba-dum-ba-dum, my account. Notifications. Monthly credits. Anyway. Yeah, the issue with Substance Painter is it's amazing and it's really good at doing what it can do faster. And it's the logo for the trading app that I made. Yeah, apparently my Creative Cloud was totally bonkered. But can bot run on Linux? Well, the trading app that I made is just a website. So yes. So my little Star Citizen trading page, you know, absolutely works totally fine on Linux. So, oh, Substance Painter? No. Substance Painter, yeah, people have gotten it to work. I know somebody in the Godot Discord does definitely have Substance Painter working, but through sheer pain. How do I get the, clipping? Yeah, that's the only thing that I don't like about the mirror is when you're trying to resize edge loops for shaping, the mirror does not work in your favor. Because it can't actually use the median point anymore. You're the master of jank. Yeah, I could use free cursor, but then we're kind of moving off. Here I was hoping art would be my relief, but now I realize you're right, and I'm going to do the same thing I do with code and refactor it every time I learn new things. Yeah, code should be nothing. Code should just be throwing the shit together and just being like, you know what I mean? Just be like, make it work, you know? Like, create through the thing, go to your project management, and create the feature that you want to create, and then write that feature in the least amount of code, and then get it completed, and then don't ever touch it again until you have to. Or just like be like, yeah, just like the art shitty on purpose. I mean, yeah, you just always create like a shader or some type of, you know, just base color. Use like, I don't know, use like anything. But I mean, scare you, but I'm just, you know. I'm not trying to discourage you, but man, it's a whole other rabbit hole of insanity that you're about to go down as you kind of clue up on a lot of the code. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to head to apply the mirror for the time being while I'm actually working on the shape of this thing. Which is super annoying, but yeah, it doesn't really matter, it's fine. That art style is how Cruelty Squad went with. Oh, that's how Cruelty Squad went. You're out. Have a good one, Code Void. Yeah, so it's we should have everything. Yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah, and this thing is like not quite perfect, but that's totally fine. As long as we get a missile out of it. Let's throw on this one. And music is really glitchy. I've been noticing that too on the stream. It's still an issue. I need to get all of my audio stuff moved over to the streaming PC, but to get that working, I need to get the streaming PC audio routed back to the gaming PC so I can piggyback it here on the headphones. You know, or I need to just run a main line out from the gaming PC, so anything coming for the gaming PC is just on the streaming PC anyway, and move the headphones over to it. But I think it might make Discord and stuff like that be kind of weird when I'm just gaming. But I'll figure it out. Gotta love dancing around being like a dev and auto technician and all the other things. Yeah, well, when you're a solo dev, you're just everything. You're just insane. Just insanity. Nobody knows what anybody is anymore when you're in game development. The insanity never ends. Yeah, just sing to us. Problem solved. Exactly. We could just do drunken space shanties. I think drunken space shanties would be like a huge hit. And now on the corner. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll just come off. Let's create the edge loops for the start of these little wings. And we'll kind of bring them out. And they're on 45s anyway, so what we'll do kind of model them separately. So we'll do a cube. Do this. And then we'll mirror it clicking. And we know it's a 45 because that's how this stuff works. We'll do it the other way. Okay, these are for later. We'll deal with these. And we'll make sure these are mirrored local to itself. And in half and flex. I want to do that for this one, which we can. And we have some spam. Gotta love having random spam. What is that? What are these little things? Maybe like notes or something. Easy report. Yeah, I could just ban them. Then no time for that. Okay, let's move this back to 0. And I'm gonna go with this. This is like a fine little kind of missile. Let me just make sure that this P1PZ is actually lined up where it should be. I'm just doing it all sideways, you know? Alright, let's see how that looks with the silhouette. Yep, that's pretty good. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I see my error in my ways. When I apply the rotation, the mirroring didn't apply on the other side of the fins. Me. No, it's too late. Let me just fix this real quick. Y. 45. Turn this back on. So let's do weapons. Ships, weapons, ship weapons, missiles, missile small. Hmm. Some metallic is fine. Base colors there. Maybe like something medium-ish. We'll keep this one kind of starship-ish. And here's another thing, Settlix. Make sure you're working out of your own asset collection. And then when you do, make sure to mark all of your stuff as an asset. And then for each of the materials, go down to your viewport display and kind of pick the same colors. I know it's like a little tiny bit of work. I'll show you why. So you go and you do this, you set metallic. You set your roughness to be the same. Do the same for all the different materials that you have. Right, so like this orange, take it. Right, so in material, go down to viewport, display, do the same thing. You don't get a lot, like, you know, for the viewport, but this will still, right, you just get 3 properties, but do this for each of your materials. And I prove my point here in a second. There. This way, now that you have this asset opened in the blend file, hey, let it. Let me just snap this in place here. Alright, missile. Boom. Now you can select it, hit in, refresh the asset. Now we have this wonderful, nice, pretty, you know, like easy to find missile. Right? And we can say like author, year, copyright, Monolithic Studios, description, right, missile, one. Then you can add tags, right? Ship weapons, you know, vice versa. Cause now that's like, okay, you're done this prototype, you know, gray box missile, and you're only marking this collection. Like you still have other stuff in the blend file that you don't really care about. And then you're like, okay, Missile Small is done. Boop, I'm gonna go create another blend file for something in the future. And you wanna just dynamically bring in your asset library. And you're like, what was that thing I was working on? And you're like, oh, I'm just gonna, right, bring in all these missiles when I'm doing my game design. Right? I wanna be prototyping stuff, you know. Use your asset collections. Use them for poses. Use them for poses for your character, right? You can go into your pose library, right? Depending on what you have set up, And then like, so for your, like all your little dudes, you could have like all your different skeletal poses, and you could like select your main character and try them out or apply them. Anyway, when you start doing art, I'm going to torture you. I hope you realize that. It's gonna be loving torture. Okay? Loving torture. But just because I know it'll help you, and you know, and it's what I do, you know, yeah, just expect torture as I. Why are you doing this? Wait, what are you doing? You know, I'm gonna be banned from chat when Select starts saying blunder stuff. It's gonna be like banned. Nope, can't have this reviewer guy. Yeah, I can. Yep, that's it. It's gonna be like nope, too much backseating. Right? How dare this guy, you know, help me save, you know, 11 hours of manually moving vertices around. Like, what an asshole. Yeah, same with materials. Like, I'm gonna start doing the. Oh man, yeah. I haven't actually gone through and actually like, cleaned up a lot of those assets. There's still so many, right? But I'm only now getting around to like eating my own dog food. Right, so anyway, now it's Godot time. So back into that actual asset. The missile small, don't say. Now we're actually going to do our exports. And they're important if you're a Godot developer, that you do it in this manner. So you go ahead, you export your project. We're going to be doing it into Unforgiven systems. So we should already have a time period here where we were actually working on this Godot, Unforgiven systems, assets, models, ships, weapons, and we're gonna same thing, missiles. And a great habit, even in Unity, always create a folder. You know, no matter whatever the asset is, create the folder of the asset. So missile, small, gray box, because we don't know if this one's final. Hey, antics, right? So missile, small, gray box. Then our exports, I already have a preset for GLB for Godot, but then I will go ahead and change it then into GLTF because we want to bring out all the textures, even though they don't exist right now, into this folder. It automatically, we're doing the active collection, nested, active scene, right? Y up, all the standards for the Godot GLTF file. Now our missile small, we're going to rename it gray box. Boom. Exported. Now, when we go into Unforgiven systems, this is where we get kind of. This is why we're actually exporting it to GLTF and not keeping it as a blend file. Because now, when I go into the import settings for that GLTF, I can set up my LODs. So it's a missile, right? It's going to be a dynamic thing. So we go into the missile small gray box. We're going to check out our import settings. So here it is. It's all set up for us. So we want to, right, in our materials, we will leave these to auto import because we're not actually, we haven't extracted them or anything. Oh, hang on. Let me move this over so you can see. Right. Now, but for our meshes, right, for the whole scene, we're dynamically going to create our LODs for everything. And I already have these kind of in a hierarchy, like for the scene. So anyway, with our LODs already set and everything kind of set to go, we can then do our re-import and create a new inherited scene with our missile. And I don't, even though we're not facing Z-, which is in Godot where we should be facing, it's fine because we're just now going to go ahead and save this scene under our prefabs folder. So prefabs, same Unity workflow, prefabs, ships, ship weapons, and there isn't any more. So we're going to call this one ship missile gray box model. So this is like our actual scene for the model. And what I'd like to do then is don't worry to literally then go ahead and create in ship weapons over here. We'll actually create our new scene. This will actually be our rigid body. Scene name will be our missile small prefab, or missile small p. Anyway, so now we have our game asset, like our actual prefab, our rigid body itself, and then we just bring in the model within itself. And because Godot is Z minus, I'll actually flip it here in Godot. But what's great about, the way that I kind of do things is I want to make sure that we are actually, separating the game from the art. So an artist can now go and screw with this model all they want, you know what I mean? But the missile itself, the systems for the missile will still be stable, right? Like they can go and import a whole new missile or swap out the model, separate the asset, and just make sure that the asset's set up to, LOD correctly, and so it's going to have performance. And now we can kind of continue. So we don't have a missile system. So for the shape, what we can do is we can actually temporarily make this editable. Grab our body, go to meshes, create our simplified convex sibling, and look at how terribly poor this is. Yeah, in this case, yeah, not so balanced. Not really much of a fan of that one. So I'm actually we're just gonna create our own collision shape, and it'll be a capsule. Oh no, that was actually right. It's the radius that's zero. Yeah, aerodynamics don't necessarily matter. That's fine. It's a centered weapon. And now now we're kind of good to go. And remember, don't worry too much about capsules. Remember that a capsule is only two kind of distance checks with some interpolation between them. And if you ever get into doing rigid body stuff, just remember that a sphere is literally only a distance check. You start getting into cubes, and then obviously convex colliders, and then you start slowly increasing complexity extremely. We will do this. Cool. We now have a missile, and we don't really care about the fins clip to the ground or anything. Doesn't really matter. They're only graphical. As long as they don't actually, as long as they're stably, in the world, they can do what missiles do. Ba-dum-ba-dum. Yeah, and I guess we can kind of jump into some code. And actually go into our ship weapons and create a missile. So ship components. Pretty sure I have weapons for the player. Where did I put my dry laser, which is a ship weapon? Under player ship. Oh, okay, yeah, it's all part of the player ship. Okay, that's fine. Ship player as a weapon. Yeah, I guess I could just call it ship missile. I'm spelling missile right? That was missile spelled. M-I-S-S-I-L. Are you ready to be disappointed, Sedlix, but how I'm just going to use ChatGPT to make all the code for this, and it's probably just going to work. This will be monolith.ships, and using Godot. Using Godot.collections for later on. Public partial class. We got like predicts within the ship namespace. Feel like nah. Missile. What are you spelling it wrong? It's like ingrained in my head to be spelt wrong. Which I actually inherit from a rigid body 3D. This will change. I do kind of want it to also be a ship weapon, but I'm not going to inherit from it. We're going to make it its own system for now. And this also needs to be yeah, so a ship weapon, yeah, I attractable. Yeah, because it technically could inherit from a ship component, which has snap points. Won't have internal snap points though, but it needs to snap to an item port. But the racks themselves may be different, so it's not necessarily. So we're just going to do similar to the component itself, just rigid body. It'll be eye attractable, because we do want to be able to attract it. So then we'll implement all of our interfaces for this, lock and unlock for the time being, which we'll do. Which will just return false for the time being. As an expression body, and we'll worry about these implementations here in a little bit. Alright, so because it's eye tractable and it's a rigid body, let's go ahead and see how a missile behaves by default with nothing defined on it. Just go ahead and get the missile working. Totally not spelling it right. MISSILE. Yeah, because these are like kind of systems where we kind of really need to get the mass and stuff correct. So we're gonna make them be 0.1, really light right now, and scale with the ships. Actually, 0.25. And by default, we're gonna make it sleeping, and we're gonna freeze it. And then on the head of our missile small prefab, we're going to add a rigid raycast. I'm going to reference this in our ship. So this raycast itself is going to be looking forward and looking forward. Probably 10 starting. This little raycast is going to be the trigger point on the missile that will determine, you know, because it is a rigid body motion system that's synchronized. So we need to know like when it's hit the target. And what we'll use this raycast for the missile's own seeking system to determine that. We don't give it any unique name, but just define it as our export, you know, private raycast 3D for raycast. And we could just for the time being. Just say that the raycast, if it is not defined, we will get no Raycast 3D Raycast. So we'll say if we've already set the export property, that's what it'll be. Otherwise, we'll just try to find the Raycast node itself. This way, if I define it, it won't be doing that. So we have our ship missile P. Let's go to our empty test scene. We should be starting off, I guess, here inside. So let me grab a missile. Throw it here. And kind of see what happens. We play with it as a player. Because it's one of the last combat systems I actually need to develop, like for, for the summer. So I think as a small missile, I think this is perfectly fine. Right? And I think the weight is good. I guess it's kind of rolling around, it's all good. And how long is it? 2 meters. They're 2 meters for small, 3 meters for medium, and just 4 meters for large, for the time being. To keep things kind of, big enough that you can kind of see it with a trail. And it doesn't look too crazy. We get into torpedoes. Torpedoes be a lot larger. But just for an initial, I think just 2, 3, 4 is kind of, fine. So it needs to have a little bit. Oh, it's going to have a lot of kind of. We're going to grab it a little tiny bit of damp. Same thing. Just a little bit of damp. Yeah, I copied one of the Raytheon missiles. But I had to spruce it up a bit, add some thrusters or something on it, because like all these missiles are generally, meant for atmosphere, Missiles are kind of... There you go, just that little tiny bit of torque will kind of slow it down naturally on its own. So it doesn't stay in perpetual motion. Yeah, there's something that I look at and it gives me an FPS drop. I need to find it. They had to make a whole new one. Eventually, yeah. I don't think it's a tractor being new yet. Gotta profile it at sometime this week. Okay, so we need a missile to do its own thing. So we need a scene for it. We need to create a missile testing setup. New scene, 3D scene, held space. This will be missile testing. And my SSILE testing. We will need any plans for countermeasures? They'll be pretty much similar to Elite. Being able to chafe and flare. We'll have to explore them, see kind of what works, and vice versa. I'm sure I'll end up making like a bunch of changes to it. But missiles are extremely, typical classical kind of space, subsystems and most anime and yeah. I want to try to like follow along this thing on the train. Kind of track the missile, but only track the missile kind of like as a gimbaled free cam of some sort. I want to add some targets and kind of just see if it actually kind of tracks. I could put the free cam in here too, but because we need to create a trail effect. That's going to be a lot of the stuff I'm just getting set up for tonight. Art 3D, so missile trail shader, particle effect, which is real particle. For the sprint. Yep. Because I do have one that works kind of like that already. What was I using it for? I don't know if I implemented it for anything. There was one that I had for a prototype. Oh yeah, for the ion thrusters. But but it needs to be better than the ion thrusters version. Let me just add a description. It'll say like adapt from right, because we could just increase the trail and it would be probably fine. Yeah, and then for the systems itself, we'll just kind of keep so many random so we are going to give it a target to track towards, which will be our marker 3D. And we're going to define this as being the target. The target node. It might be a static body or a rigid body. I'm not sure what I want to do yet with this, but we're going to in our physics process for the 60 FPS, we're going to be checking, our ray cast and checking the distance on that, what we're actually hitting. And the thing is, like, there should be, when the missile is spawned and the missile is kind of given a target, it already really knows what that target is. Like, it requires a lock-on first. So we're not just really just ray casting and checking, like, oh, are we actually hitting it? Because we can't necessarily just, like, we can do a distance proximity check, but we also want to do, like, kind of a bit of both. Because we want to be moving this around, and especially for synchronizing things, it's important for the version of this that's on the server to have kind of both, like the ray cast and because we can't if you just kind of shoot it and we don't have the ray cast, we could kind of check and see if we're within a certain distance and kind of explode it. But this thing's been moving pretty quick, and where it is per frame, depending on like the player, the the latency, like this could be very, this could be moving, who knows, like 50 to 100 meters per tick, depending on how the gameplay is set up for it. So whatever I ultimately go with, I'll have the raycast kind of defined to kind of have a length that'll kind of work for it. So just the raycast, hey, are we actually hitting the target? And are we within the distance check of that raycast? And then boom, And of course, then when a chafe is fired for the ship, because once again we have the target, we can, on that explosion, kind of determine whether there was some countermeasure or what the system is actually using for it to fizzle itself and not have that damage be applied, as well as having giving it a lifetime itself where it will kind of explode on its own or fizzle. I'm gonna keep it alive for just 20 seconds for testing. And then it's going to navigate. It's kind of following it. Thank you. If the target is no, they'll have a target. I'm not really doing anything. And I think we'll actually add to the missile an internal timer that will spawn. That we'll use for the fizzle time. Or just auto start it. It'll run on physics. For when it kind of self-destructs itself. So lifetime. So we need to head towards target. So for navigate targets now. So I had in good old ChatGPT. I'm just gonna be so we'll just say good for E-sharp rigid body 3D. Have it path to a target. Right, making it move towards target. We want it to turn. So we're applying a central force. Oh yeah, so that puts us towards it. We're gonna say, but behave like a missile. Okay, so it only moves forward, but it rotates to face it. Right, so we have a track target. And that's all we're doing. We're getting our direction to the target. We're rotating the missile to face the target. Now, I don't really like this. This should be actually, actually changing the global transform of a rigid body is bad, but, if it was just a node, this would make sense. It should be applying a torque instead of just say, right? It's like, this is kind of... It's like halfway there. I actually like this internal get angle too, that we just get our forward from our transform basis and return angle to. This could be a one-liner, so I don't know why it's a custom method. Doesn't really make much sense, but yeah. This is still the same. We're getting our direction, accelerating the missile based on our calculated velocity. But yeah, that's the downside, is actually rotating it. And it shouldn't be rotating it. It should be applying a torque value instead. Hey, maybe, hang on, maybe we can fix it. Can we apply a torque force instead of changing the global rotation? And we'll just see if it's smart enough, because that's pretty much it. That's it solved. I don't know, what chat GPT is kind of extremely slow. So this is exactly like the same code as how the ship's AI system works. So the navigation system is broken into a line, which does rotation. It does that by getting the basis of the target. So if we look at our ship navigation, it's a bit complicated. We're just getting our heading. And then we're kind of getting our cross product. Like, is it to the up of us? Is it to the right of us? Like, what's the deal? Now, the way these ships fly, like, we don't really, the ships kind of fly as if their axes are kind of unlocked, because it's kind of creating like a virtual player of sorts, right, to create like a target X, Y, and Z heading, which we then get a target rotational angle that we actually then apply. But yeah, face while approaching, face. Oh yeah. So yeah, we could build up a three-dimensional target angle and kind of just pitching that. But in our own case, we can kind of do them both, because it's a missile. It doesn't need to. Oh, it just got updated. Yeah, I'm going to grab our calculate target for our ship missile, which is part of a line. We don't need a ship because we are the missile. And a lot of this can be cleaned up, because this is technically based upon our own. And this would kind of be global. Yeah, I guess our origin is global. Yeah, based on our own transform origin. If we have a custom target vector, we're not doing that. So we're just saying our own transform.y. Yeah, because once we have our heading, yeah, this is our own. Go to our crossover cell. And then this will be our heading compared to our own forward. Let's turn this into a vector 3 called target angle. Morning! Well, it is for me. What are you building? Hey, Enzo. Or NZ. It's a space game called Unforgiven Space. It's a multiplayer game. Kind of like Elite Dangerous Star Citizen. Where you're kind of moving cargo from point A to point B and trying not to get blown up in the process. Yeah, and I'll just literally just do the target angle. Let's see. We'll just build this up. Cast it to a float. It's 3D. I'll show you here just in a second. Target angle will be Y. Here, cast it dot of up. So no matter what way the missile is rotated, right, it's going to track relative right to itself. Dot x will be so this will be based on our minus right or heading, based on our own cross product, right? And then we can actually, for our quaternion rotation, we can compare our identity to the inverse of our ship. That's technically the missile at this point. So, right, so our basis quaternion to the target compared to ourself. The delta is then ourself times the inverse of our target. And then this will be a rotation angle. Should then be a vector 3. So this is the target angle of where the ship is in comparison to us, forward, back, left, right, up, or down. And then the quaternion angle is the rotation. So where is the target from us in relative to us, no matter if we're upside down, left or right, and then how much in each axis we have to rotate. So let's so let's do target angle. So target it's like direction angle rotation angle. We'll just call it target direction and target rotation. And our exporters, we'll actually see this now in real time once we have a missile target. And then this should behave fine. I do like this. So for a line, we'll keep running calculate target. That's all we're going to do for the time being, just so we can see it in the inspector, and then call that fine. So let me give Enzo a little tour of the game in the main project. Are you a developer as well, NC? This will take a while. Projects a bit big. Yeah. So here is our our typical spaceship here on our kind of truck stop. I haven't touched game dev in a while though, mainly applications, websites, or Discord bots. I gotcha, cool. Right, so here's our ship. Right, it's fully modular. You can actually take off all the engines, populate all the components. We'll just hit inside. So game plays in first person, very similar to like how Star Citizen, Sea of Thieves plays. Hello, me warping 7,000 kilometers away. I do, yep. Right, so like inside the ship, we have all of our components. You can pull off like your, shield generators. Like here's a shield gen, right? The comm array for the comm system for hooking up to the comm arrays. All the things. Like here's our nav plates for like putting in all the cargo. So you just open the door, throw in all your cargo. They all stack. Lock them in place, and then you're just kind of taking off from station to station buying cargo. And then when you're you're not, you can go in and customize the ship, pull off all the components, put them back on, right? Kind of swap out everything that's kind of back here in your own little personal storage, right? And then of course you're socially we have like kind of like different kind of areas that have their own like drop off and pickup points for different types of delivery missions. So for buying and selling cargo, for in like different kind of like places, and just taking it with a tractor beam and bringing it from point A to point B. So it's very trying to stay late 90s, early 80s for a lot of the ship designs and components and whatnot. And a lot of things need more of a final pass, but yeah, I'm about a year and a half into the project before switching things over to Godot. It was originally a Unity project. Now we have a lot of the multiplayer systems fully working. I have a build here running. I guess I can actually turn off the build that I was running and launch the main build. But that's the that's game. There's a lot more to it. It's fully funded on Patreon. So I'm currently trying to get to about 400 USD over the summer, and we just keep pushing builds, right? So as I'm working on tech, every couple weeks I'm just pushing a build, trying to get back into a build every week. I haven't did a announcement of the build that I did like 2 days ago, but there is a build already for this weekend, right? That we've been testing, the one that I kind of gave Sedlix earlier. And so this has been the process, trying to get all the NPC flight model stuff working. I want by the end of the summer I want to have a fully working vertical slice, right? So everything will be all kind of working in its primitive form, and we can kind of play together, and players can jump in and kind of start customizing everything and having a bit of persistence. So yeah, and a lot of the stuff is just art, working on art, working on different systems, and hopefully things will keep slowly growing. Right, so here's a dedicated server build. And I'll just give you a very basic... We'll go back into the other project that we're actually working on for the missile system for the week. And I try to keep everything, semi-organized. We have the ClickUp. And this is all on our Discord. Like we have... you can kind of watch the progress as all these kind of systems are coming online. So we're doing missile testing. We're starting to work on the code for missile testing, but I'm going to go into Universe Online, and I'm just going to kind of show you real quick, just a very primitive, multiplayer testing of the game. It's nothing special, but at least you can kind of see like where I am with things that are headless. And so here, I'll log in as Revere. I already have the dedicated server running here. Pick the color for myself. I'll be green. I'm gonna join in here. We have 100 synced NPCs as a test, and I'll go ahead and join in as NZ. With 2 eyes, and we'll just pick a random color. We'll do it'll be yellow. Right. So this is very basic. So we have 2 players. Give it a second for everything to kind of sync up here. So everything is all synced. The equipment system is synced. Weapons. Right. So here we are. Just a little verse. We can jump out into 0G. I'm gonna follow him over here. So it's into the 0G we go of the gravity volume. So let's on NZ's account here, let's come over here, and we're gonna spawn in a ship. Right, and I'm gonna pop in. So I can actually see the animations from here. So I'm interacting with the seat. I'm going to pop in, and now in a basic form, NZ is kind of ready to go. Now I want to go join them, of course, because we're going to go on a mission to go to that comm array and shut it down. So let's see, spawn in my ship. Obviously, you're not going to be spawning in your ship like that, but this is just testing for some of the synchronization stuff. Right, so this is all prototypey. Right, so there's your ship over here, just slowly moving down. So I'm going to head over. Let's see, where is that? And chat works. Got chat working. Hey. Oh, what's up? Right, so chat, everything, all the basic stuff you'd expect after the game thus far. Uh-oh. Except for there's a bug with the VJoy not capturing. This is actually a new one because I'm working on controller support, and because I opened up the chat, and when I close the chat and I take focus, it's actually disabling my joystick. So I might be able to fix it by just kind of quickly jumping back into the seat. No, it's disabled now. So that's going to be a bug. So don't use chat right now, but that's because I'm actually working on the controller support. So that's right, all running here in the headless server. Yeah, so I need to fix that issue. Let me add that to the pickup. For my systems, this is actually an important one. So fix VJoy. Disabling chat is closed. And we'll just put that up to the top. I'll take care of that tomorrow. And wave down. Can you land on other planets or just objects in the sky? You'll be able to land on planets. They're real. They're not nothing crazy here. They're just really low poly, like crappy versions. They're just meant so I can actually put a mesh collider system on it and just go down and walk around it. See, the atmosphere here is kind of not working with the fog volume. I think I have them turned off, but the intention is for everything to be like nothing in the game is going to be a skybox, right? So that's how things are going to develop. I'm working on the game full time, so I'm going to hopefully rely on my own ability to push enough updates in the next 6 weeks to have a playable build. I hope I can get that done. I succeeded before when we were in Unity Land. Yeah. Yeah, and that's been what I started working on last night. I really wanted to go through the Xbox controller here and really kind of clean up the oh, apparently it's off. 1 second. Alright, so I have this really nice, I have some nice little interpolation happening here on the controller. So I can actually like bring up my weapon, grab any of the rigid bodies. Right. Throw it on the ship. I'm doing all of this with my controller. So the actual IK now looks great with the controller. There's a little bit of kind of I gotta rechange the magnet for when we're holding the weapon. But yeah, so this is just, just playing with the controller. But I need to add functionality for rotating everything and kind of, and I want to actually get the so I have an actual in-screen UI that players can actually see because it's actually an item. So my goal is to have like a fully diegetic mission system. Like we can go and check your reputation, everything on this pad. For testing, I might keep it, like regular full screen, but I can actually bring that up here, with the gamepad. So it's cool. I can kind of bring it up. I can zoom it in, zoom it out. Switch to my weapons. So jump to 0G. You can jump. Yeah. So I'm going to spend a bit more time this week. I'm trying to get all the actual controls working for a controller. Because it'll kind of help me nail out some of the UI, because now I need to figure out, how to interact with my new 3D UI elements I've created, for like buying and selling cargo. Like I do have my little indicators and know that I'm on the console, but I need to be able to kind of send in events to that one without relying on the mouse cursor to do it, because I can obviously navigate this with my mouse, which is fine, because I'm actually just sending in my mouse event to the UI based upon where that raycast hits. But now I need to, take into consideration that, yeah, so interesting stuff that I'm going to be working on, for this week on the stream. But there's a lot of things I now want to kind of, start ironing out, polishing, for vertical slice, including this interaction system. But I should be able to jump in as well. So I haven't done any ship controls. I changed the FPS controller. Right, and I can fire, I can strafe. It's just getting the V-joy system working, right? And can go up, but I can go forward, so I can almost fly around, with my controller. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna be working on this week. But it's almost 11, so let me check my uptime for this stream. It's a short stream. I was working on a bunch of stuff for the house today, so I didn't really. It was pretty late before I started. But yeah, this is Unforgiven Space. Yeah, and when I used my trigger, it also like jumped to being in the seat. I kind of skipped the animation process. So there's definitely, gonna be some things I'm gonna fix. But I wanted to get like tab support and a few other things. But yeah, almost 3 hours. So I'm gonna get ready and raid someone. The next full day, like a like I'll be on tomorrow around probably the same time frame. But I think yeah, this week's my little guy's birthday is this week, so this week might come a little bit slow, but either way, I'm gonna get this missile system working. That's my goal for the week, is to have the missile system working and have the racks on the ship. So it's not a big deal, but it's one like totally missing fundamental feature. And if I know the missiles work and the missiles can be spawned and synchronized, then I know all the weapons are going to work. I can start, getting the item port synchronization kind of working, and the goal of truly, as fast as we can, not, not just getting players in the test build playing with each other, like spawning in their own ships and stuff, but getting everything they're doing, which I can definitely emulate right now, from the single player perspective. Like, it doesn't really matter if you can't see the other person's cargo. Like, we can still kind of, put the build together and play together in a multiplayer fashion. But I actually do want to start getting all the systems together and working. So yeah, that's the game. I'm gonna go raid someone, and I'll be back tomorrow. If you guys are interested in checking out the Patreon, I am working full time, so everything definitely helps. And let me jump onto the streaming PC here real quick, and I'll post those links. Yeah, so it's just patreon.com/monolithic. And the bot should automatically do it in the Twitch side of things. But for those on YouTube, I'll leave you now, and we'll go raid someone.